most common questions that I get asked by friends and family is how I was able to balance doing so many things at the same time. I mean, there was a certain point where I was in college, taking a full 16 credit semester, helping teach 2 different biology classes, studying for my MCAT. I was on the competitive equestrian team for my university. I was taking yoga classes, going to the gym, and trying to maintain a YouTube channel. So I think you understand where this question is coming from. So in this more vlog style video, I'm gonna be showing you how I was able to balance doing so many things so that you can stress less and focus more on doing things that you actually care about. I just showered and washed my hair, but I do need to do a couple of content related things today. So I think that one of the first things I'm gonna do is turn some of my long form videos into short form videos and just kind of editing some shorts so that I can post them on YouTube, because I haven't really made a lot of shorts and I feel like it's a good way to reach more people, especially since I post more vlogs and productivity, study habit type videos. So I think I'm gonna do that. There are so many things that I want to do today. So realistically and ideally, my day would have been, you know, making my short form content, editing today's video, or starting to edit today's video, and studying. I do realize, obviously, that because I spend so much time studying or working or editing videos just by myself in my room, definitely don't spend as much time with friends or family as I normally do. I mean, the other night I went out with Dee Dee. We actually went out in our scrubs because we were not gonna go out at all. So basically, I worked a full shift and Dee Dee and I met up at the library. We didn't have time to change out of our scrubs or anything. She also works at a different hospital. We ended up going out for one of our friends' birthdays. And I thought we were going to this one bar that's very casual. You know, people go in like shorts and stuff, half inside, half outside. And we ended up going to this nicer club. Well, it's kind of a club slash bar. It's still outside, but people go dressed way nicer. So people were in like heels and dresses, and we were both in our scrubs. Yeah, that's probably one of the only times I've gone out with my friends recently. One of that long ass story was to spend time with your friends and family. Okay, I'm getting to my aunt's house. Bye. Hey guys, if you haven't gathered, I clearly did not study today. And that's okay, because tomorrow is going to be a very dedicated study day. I just kind of wanted to take today to myself, and I mentioned in one of my last videos as well how much I value breaks, but how little I actually am able to take them, or how little breaks I give myself, I guess. I don't really get a lot of time throughout the week, especially on days that I study, because I come home so much later. Because I didn't set time aside today to study, I fully plan on having a long study day tomorrow and doing some MCAT stuff. So hopefully we can do some of that together. Well, not together, but it feels like you guys are here with me. Today, I'm just gonna lay here. I am fully very comfortable on YouTube, trying to decide what I want to watch. If you guys have any comfort YouTubers or YouTubers that you always go back to, let me know in the comments who they are. I like watching Lena Lifts, I like watching Carla Espinoza, and I actually made friends with a YouTuber recently. Her name is Caitlin, and she has her own YouTube channel. She's freaking great. We've been texting about, you know, our different methods of making videos and thumbnails and coming up with titles and just being relatively new to the platform. So if you like watching vlogs, if you like writing, reading, I think she's a really good person to follow. So go do that. So today's plan is to spend my day studying, especially because I didn't really get to study yesterday. So I just wanted to show you one of the to-do lists I made a couple of days ago. I bought these little Snoopy to-do lists because I thought that they were so cute. And this is just an example of one of my to-do lists and the way that I kind of plan out my day, especially when it comes to studying. Something that I do that actually helps me complete my to-do lists, because obviously it's very easy to say, duh, just make a list of everything you want to do. But it's like, how do I actually encourage myself to complete the list? So you can condition yourself a little bit. Once you finish the to-do list and you do all of the things that you have told yourself that are required and are a must-do for today, now what you can do is set some time for things that you would like to do. So let's say you've been putting off going to a yoga class for a really long time because you don't have the desire, the time, the energy to go. Now, after you finish your to-do list and you're sitting down, you're not gonna get up until you're done with it. You are going to be able to actually go and do those things that you want to do, whether it's shopping for a new pajama set, getting yourself a candle, cooking yourself dinner, going on a walk, taking a break, whatever it may be. You're gonna promote yourself and encourage yourself that, you know what, every time I do a to-do list, I not only get the intrinsic benefit of feeling like I completed these tasks and there's something that I was meant to complete, but also you get a more tangible reward, something you only get to do when you're finished. If you're taking all of these breaks while you're trying to complete these tasks that are on your list, there's no reward for when you're done because you've been intermittently giving yourself these dopamine hits as you go on. So it's like you're being rewarded every time you take a break as opposed to being rewarded when you're done. So by emphasizing your reward or going on your phone or scrolling only when you're done with these tasks, you're kind of mentally starting to train yourself to complete the harder tasks before receiving a reward. On that same note, I'm gonna make my own to-do list right now so that I can study for the next couple of hours. So I made myself some coffee so I can sip on it while I make my to-do list. And I just like drinking coffee while I study anyway. I'm a little bit while I study and then I'll let you guys know how I'm feeling after. And I'll probably be sitting here for a couple of hours, so. I just stopped to eat for a couple of minutes and I'm not gonna lie, I was feeling really unmotivated and I actually almost stopped studying. It's about 4 p.m. It's actually 4:44 p.m. like this number. So I had stopped studying to take a short break to just have lunch and now I kept going and I was really close to stopping and I just wanted to be honest because it's not like I'm a robot that can just sit here and be like, yeah, let's study. Let's do this together. I mean, yeah, that's obviously the ideal situation, but I deadass got 0% on one of my passages that I was doing for the biochem section. And that was really kind of unmotivating for me to not see the result that I wanted. It was only like 10 questions, or I think it was like 7 questions, but the fact that I got none of them right was really, it kind of like upset me to the point where I considered stopping for the whole day. And I was like, I'm not really gaining anything from that. So I kept going, I'm still doing it. And I've kind of convinced myself to just talk through the passages out loud. So by reading it out loud, I feel like I'm explaining it to other people and it kind of forces me to really focus more on what I'm reading. So just wanted to say that. Really trying my best not to give up here. I look like I got beat up, but I've genuinely just been trying to solve this one physics question for the past, I'm not even kidding, for the past like 15 minutes. I even went on Reddit and I was trying to see how people were solving it, and it was the most, like the strangest resistor question I've ever seen. They got my ass. Whatever. Point is, even if I did know how to solve the question, I don't think I would be able to do it in the 1 minute that I have to solve every question. Okay, so I did most of the things on my to-do list so far, but I was gonna do a whole blueprint section, which is essentially like an hour-and-a-half long section. But honestly, I don't know if I'm in the mental state for that right now. With that being said, a really big part of balancing everything and trying to do as much as you can in a day, definitely just being forgiving and understanding with yourself. Maybe you miss a study session, maybe you skip a workout. So I'm not saying allow yourself to give up or don't put in all of the effort, but you definitely need to be able to acknowledge where you're at and meet yourself in the middle, because sometimes we start off with a very long and extensive to-do list, but sometimes it can be unrealistic and you can't beat yourself up if you're not finishing everything on a list, because at the end of the day, you know, we're the ones that set these goals for ourselves. So we have this notion like, oh, I was supposed to read 4 chapters and I only read 3, or I was supposed to get this many questions right. And it's like, who said that? Nobody said that. You came up with that deadline or this to-do list or that concept of everything that you should get done in a day. So unless it's really a hard deadline, if it's something like studying or, you know, getting ahead of your work, you really can't beat yourself up, because progress isn't about perfection. It's about showing up again. So tomorrow, I know I'm gonna sit back down, I'm gonna keep studying, I'll probably do my full length And I'm not going to beat myself up if I'm too tired or exhausted. I emphasize this a lot on my channel, but just being kind to yourself and understanding where you're at. When I was doing all of those things at the same time, something that I would benefit from and that I always did was just making a general order. So like I was saying yesterday about the to-do list, it's just a broad order that gives you some structure to your day without any super restricting timestamps. So while it's nice to have that as kind of a limitation so that you don't spend too much time on things, sometimes it's really limiting and it can really stress you out. So that's why I try to stay away from those things. But if it benefits you, then go ahead. A lot of people really emphasize and fantasize about this notion of even being productive on your breaks. So while you're walking on the treadmill, listen to a podcast. While you're watching YouTube, do your Anki. And I think that that causes more harm than good because you're not even resting while you're trying to rest, right? So complete the things that are your non-negotiables, the studying, the work, the editing, and once you're done, remove it. It's done. You did it. Now focus on doing something that you enjoy. Walk on the treadmill. Don't be on your phone all the time. Go outside, enjoy your walk without a podcast, without the need to feel productive, and without the need to have to benefit in some other way from everything that you do. And that's something that's so important in building a routine that is actually sustainable and that you benefit from. So once I'm done studying, I think I'm going to bake a cake. This has nothing to do with what I'm doing, but I really wanted to try making this Biscoff cake. Just changed out of my robe and into my sweater for locking in purposes, and now I'm going to review that section from yesterday. Look at my work. Since I have about a minute to answer every question, my work makes absolutely no sense. It just looks like a bunch of scribbles. We shaved Apollo and now he looks like a little rat. I still think he's so cute. Driving, I worked today. I am so tired. So the last thing that I wanted to mention in this video is the fact that there's no progress and there's no productivity or advancements in general unless you mess up and unless you realize what it is that works for you and what doesn't work for you. You need to notice your energy levels if you work better during the day, if you work better at nighttime, if you prefer to get your work done early in the morning, if you like studying later at night, whatever it may be. It takes a lot of trial and error, but you need to be willing to make those mistakes and willing to mess up in order to learn. Because if not, you're just going to be going around and around and you're not going to understand how you're going to balance these things because you don't have an understanding for yourself of what works. So which task gave you the most satisfaction to complete? Which task took you way longer than you anticipated? What can you change to make next week more manageable than this week? I'm really not sure what I want to get yet, but I'm getting my nails done. As always, Adriana does my nails, and this is what we're starting with. So I have this fall design. I got it in one of my last vlogs, and I just got here, so I'm gonna go get my nails done. Hopefully something clean and Christmassy.